The time has come for our greatest trial. Chapter 23 features a rematch against Camilla in the run's final Rout map, and while my breakdown of the clear is similar to Chapter 13, this one is much grander. Camilla starts 44 tiles away, alongside Veruca and Selena, and we're going to instigate the trio turn 1 with Saizo, while 2 other enemy phase units sweep the generic enemies scattered across the map, and everyone else cleans up the starting area. Once again, I take inspiration from Camilla and put Saizo into Malignite for the move, flight, and magical combat. The wyverns are just too bulky to kill with a shuriken, but Saizo is just strong and fast enough to kill everything he needs with the horse spirit. I'm also reclassing the newly recruited Shura, following Scarlet's footsteps as a bow knight with movement +1. This also gives him access to both Yumi's and a one-range weapon type, which may sound overkill considering our many potential Kinshi knights, but it's actually just enough to let us perform the necessary filler combat, while keeping our flyers free to facilitate our explosive movements. The first step is to get Saizo in range of the Veruca-Selena pair. This will provoke Camilla to start moving, which in turn gets every other enemy to move as well. Under this timeline, we can defeat Selena turn 1, revealing Veruca, who we can defeat alongside Camilla turn 2. And getting every generic enemy moving turn 1 will let our other combat units get in range of them turn 2, even the ones that start on the edges of the map. To cross the massive gap between Saizo and the Veruca pair in just one turn, we need 2 rescues so Saizo's partner, Scarlet, can get rescued, move, get refreshed, and move a second time. On top of this, I also utilized the rescue boosting trick used in Chapter 17, with both rescues placing their target further north despite being rescued west, as it blocked the tile to the east of each rescue user. During this process, Scarlet also defeats Arthur, who would cause problems if left alive for turn 2. You can turn him and Effie into green units by talking to them with Corn, but this both doesn't fit in the clear and would only be a hindrance anyways. Then, Scarlet switches to Saizo, who lunges for the final push. Lastly, we also have to consider Effie. To keep her in range turn 2, I've rushed Ryoma to the northeast turn 1, with a double shove letting Takumi drop him off at just the right spot. Now Effie will see Ryoma as the closest attack target over Saizo and stay in the east, despite Camilla not having an opportunity to trigger the Dragon Bane. With the Horse Spirits, Saizo falls a little short of one-drowning the Sorcerer, but this actually helps our consistency. The Sorcerer always attacks Saizo at 2 range, so they end up blocking off other enemies from attacking at 2 range. This seems bad, but by lunging the Strategist, I actually got Saizo 10 spaces away from the Veruca pair, so they can reach and attack at 1 range. Veruca doesn't do damage, so she switches to Selena, attacking into Saizo with her Silver Sword. If Saizo crits the Sorcerer, then Selena would be free to attack Saizo with her Crescent Bow. This wouldn't kill him, but he'd have to dodge a few attacks to survive the entire Northwest. As is, Saizo's survivability isn't much of a concern, as the Horse Spirit gives +3 to both defenses, and Guard Gauge completely blocks every other attack. He could die if he doesn't dodge any sub-50 hit attacks, facing around 10 damage from each mage, but I'm overall satisfied, so long as crits don't kill the Sorcerer or ruin Guard Gauge. Pushing Saizo and Ryoma so far forward may typically be seen as overextending, but Phoenix Mode turns this into an advantage, with Corrin and Azura's deaths effectively letting them unpair on enemy phase. Now, Corrin's free to ferry Izana west, and Reyna can fly north to clean up a few flyers alongside both Azura and Shura. This leaves us with 1 action to defeat the Wyvern Lord that defeated Corrin, and I leave it up to Kagero with a big dual strike from our new mechanist, Yukimura. As it turns out, getting Niles' Silver Yumi over Odin's Horse Spirit in Chapter 18 was more cost efficient after all, as I used 1 copy of each this chapter, and the Horse Spirit cost less gold. In the north, my main concern is Reyna's consistency. She needs the Iron Yumi to one-round Wyvern Lords, but this naturally leaves her with below 80 listed hits. Scarlet can get Savage Blow damage on the first, so Reyna can finish the kill with a Brass Yumi, but because I got Reyna Air Superiority, she gets +30 hit against flyers for perfect reliability against both Wyverns with the Iron Yumi. The positioning for these kills always works out regardless of where the flyers choose to attack from, so we can always get these 3 kills while also trade equipping Shura a Brass Katana. Shura has to end in range of a Paladin, and while Saizo can weaken them on player phase, he doesn't one-round, so we need Shura to be able to counterattack at 1 range, even if it's just for 1 damage. The last concern is Saizo and Izana's one-rounds against Camilla and a Sorcerer. I gave each an arm scroll for +1 attack, but they each still need a point of magic over 2 level ups, with Saizo having a 60% growth and Izana 55%. However, if you're willing to use the smithy more and spend extra gold, you could work around this by forging up Izana's Tiger Spirit, and Saizo's Horse Spirit if you got the second copy in Chapter 18. Also, Saizo has to fight through Camilla's Tomebreaker, but with all his skill and the plus 5 hit boost from Yukimura's personal skill, he gets up to 69 listed hit for around a 60% chance of success. Pretty respectable, considering Camilla has a massive plus 50 avoid boost, making this a satisfying end to his enemy phase sweeping in the run. Of course, he'll continue to be dominant going into our final stretch of defeat boss maps, reaching some nice thresholds because of his many level ups gained this chapter. And that's chapter 23 completed in 2 turns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.